Hello, this is just a little hammering with me, Jackson, Henry, and Logan. And we're going to be talking about Aquaman this episode.
Alright, so I guess I'll start since you guys are camera shy. So, I saw Aquaman with Henry this weekend, and going in, I didn't think it was going to be that good of a movie. I was just expecting another, DCEU.
Big flop.
Big flop, yeah.
Big flop.
Just like Justice League. But I was actually kind of surprised. I think it's one of my top 10 movies of the year. I really enjoyed it.
I didn't think it was a good movie, but, I mean...
By DC standards.
I think it was fun, but it was a bad movie. But as long as it's fun, I don't think it matters.
I think... I'm going to disagree with you. I think it was a genuine good movie.
I think it was poorly made, is what I'm saying. As in, the writing was bad. And that's pretty important. If the writing's bad, it kind of takes the whole movie down.
It's like a 2-star story with like a 5-star production. Like, they had a lot of special effects. The special effects was done right. Except the story was crap.
You didn't like the story?
There was a lot of cliches in it.
It wasn't that good.
I liked the story.
Everyone's saying it's like Black Panther, which, I mean, and then their defense to saying that is, well, that's the story in the comics. But, no one cares. If that's it, it can be comic accurate, but if it's something we've already seen, then who cares? It's just boring.
I enjoyed the story. The only part of the story I didn't enjoy was they kind of used Black Manta's almost a throwaway villain in this movie.
That was stupid.
That's the only thing I disliked about this movie.
They could have easily made the whole movie about Ocean Master as the main villain, and then just
But Ocean Master wasn't really relatable either. Yeah, you killed my mother, but we didn't really get any character development of him. It was just he was a bad guy and he was taking over the world.
Yeah, that's the problem. Because they had to do development for both characters, one of which was barely used, and I thought that was stupid.
They just threw him away. What I think they should have done with Black Manta is show the piece of his father and the backstory of his grandfather at the beginning and leave it at that. At the end, instead of... let's start with the end scene credit. I enjoyed the end scene credit for what it was because it's kind of leading up to a sequel, but I feel like if they just stopped Black Manta's story arc where his dad dies... and then comes back at the end scene with him wanting revenge, that'd be a perfect setup for a sequel.
If they do Aquaman 2 now and he's the main villain, it'll just be bad.
Yeah.
I think the only thing they could do to bring it back is make it like an injustice society where it's all the good guys versus all the bad guys for each hero. I think that would work. But if they just had him come back again and actually be a main villain this time, it would just be kind of lame.
That's what they set it up for. They set it up for, though. It's he's going to come back, and that's what that basically said. So that next Aquaman, Black Manta.
And then no one's going to see it because it's going to be crap.
I agree. I honestly don't even think the Injustice Society is a good idea either. Because
they'll ruin it like they ruin everything else?
Not even that. I feel like big fighting scenes is just so overused now.
Yeah, but it's cool.
You're saying you're not getting tired of big
not if it's done
fighting scenes.
Like in Justice League, there wasn't a single good one, and that's why it was bad.
Okay, but what about Infinity War? Did you like the Wakanda fight?
Yeah.
Really? You didn't think it was just a little over the top?
No. It's Infinity War. How can you get more over the top? That's the point. It might as well be called Avengers Over the Top. That's what the movie is.
Yeah. I just think it was a little too much.
My God. So basically, if you draw the comparison of Aquaman to Black Panther, what they could have done is when for original Justice League, if Aquaman was Black Panther, then Aquaman's forces would be the Wakandan forces that are protecting the city, and they'd be holding the artifact that the one guy from Justice League, I forget what the villain's name was.
Who cares?
Yeah.
Yeah. So when they actually took it from Amazon, if he was Black Panther or if Aquaman was still Black Panther, he would use his forces to protect his city, and then the artifact would be in his city, and that would be if Aquaman was before Justice League. But since it's after, it's useless. But
I think it's better that it was after, because the whole point of Aquaman, the movie, was character development, I think. personally.
Yeah, because it's an origin story.
I'm glad it came after Justice
I
League.
feel like they
not.
did too
That's
many
so
origin
dumb.
stories. Like,
But
They're
think
playing
about it.
catch up and they're doing it badly.
Think about if it was before. I
Then
feel like
there would have been more characters
he
that you
would-
care about.
But he would have had his trident already.
Not
and
that
he would
this
have been
movie gave you much to care
extremely
about.
much stronger in the Justice League movie. And I wouldn't enjoy that.
No, because what they wanted, they saw Avengers came out and they pooped their pants. They're like, what do we do? We got to do that now. And then they're like, whatever. We got Wonder Woman, Superman. We're fine. We're fine. We don't need to do anyone else, even though we need to. And then it's poop. So the whole movie's bad.
you know what else was bad in that movie? His last suit were with the gold,
I
and
didn't
then
think
like
that was bad.
it,
I
it
think
was
that
a
was
it was a
amazing.
throw. No. These things were terrible.
The scales?
Cool.
No,
The scales
the
were
glove
awesome.
thingies
They were
that
literally-
the spiked out. I was like,
Yeah, those
okay,
were-
that's a little. I get you want to be like accurate to the comics, but that just didn't fit with the whole movie because they were like all like in like battle armor, and then he comes in with like orange, and he comes back with a throwback Aquaman.
I completely disagree with you. I think if they did anything right in this movie, it was the throwback
I
suit.
don't think that the entire movie was bad. I thought it was.
I enjoyed it.
I thought the sets and like all the scenes and everything looked really good.
Yeah, for
Like,
sure.
as I said before, I thought it was very reminiscent of Avatar. Like
It
in that kind of
relied
color
on
scheme.
it. I would say it relied on like the beautiful images and beautiful
Yeah.
scenery.
I thought it was good, and if the rest of the script and everything was like that, then it would have been a great movie. But it wasn't at all.
It's kind of like the other movie. It's like Valerian, Planet of 1,000 Cities or Races or something. It did the same thing. It had like beautiful scenery, and the scenery looked exactly the same, but it was just like bad like scripting.
I think the story for Aquaman was good. You guys can say what you want, but I think it was actually a decent story.
They like really rushed it like at the beginning. How many origin stories did they have at the beginning? They had like the mother father one, and then they had Arthur growing up, and then they had Black Manta, and then they had the Ocean Master, and that was all there. And that was just too crammed in the beginning. Like they needed to either take more time on one thing or not jump between.
There was too much going on. It was like origin story, then he's making a new supervillain, then he's in a little rom-com with the red-haired chick. Don't even know her name. That's how forgettable she is.
Mira?
Sure,
Princess Mira?
probably. But like, it's just too much. And then in the end, he's fighting a giant war. It felt like it could have been like 3 different movies. It was crazy.
You know who did the best acting in that movie?
Who?
Dolph Lundgren.
What character did he play?
King Necro.
Oh, the red-haired guy?
Redhead's dad or father. I guess. Yeah, he did the best acting. I mean, who can forget his notable lines like, "Oh wait, he's not an actor. His best his best movie was Rocky Balboa." And then if he's the best actor in this movie, that means that the acting's shit.
Well, I mean, it's not that the acting's bad. I think for what they're given, it was fine. But they weren't given anything because the script's terrible. Like, you can't do anything with that.
I
No matter how
honestly
good
don't
an
agree
actor
with you guys. I think this was a good movie. Probably the best
But the cliche.
the best DCEU movie.
Okay,
So
yeah.
far.
I'm not gonna say. I wouldn't say
I-
it's the best one because I think Wonder Woman is a better movie. I like Aquaman better than Wonder Woman, but Wonder Woman is a better movie because I don't like the end of Wonder Woman and that ruins the whole movie for me. This one's pretty. It's fun throughout it, and I enjoy it more. And I'd probably rewatch it over any of the other ones, but I still wouldn't say it's a good movie.
I feel like things that they could have done to make the movie better was, like we said earlier, throw out Black Manta's like fight scene because that just ruins a sequel he's gonna have for him, which I actually would like to see. I feel like he
Throw in another Aquaman villain just for like
in this
giggles.
movie.
No, just somebody who you don't need a backstory for. Somebody like I don't know, maybe just, or you could just skip it and then just go to him like make the fighting where he like gets the
That's what I was trying
make
to
that
say.
longer.
Yeah,
But you don't need that big of a character because that's one of the central villains of Aquaman. Don't throw him in this early. Do your scripting for the next movie and the next movie.
another thing they could have done is like, personally, I would have liked to see more backstory on King Orm, his brother. That'd have been a little bit cooler. Just like because the whole movie, like his what's it called? His coworker or whatever, it was training Aquaman, throughout the entire.
Willem Dafoe's character.
Yeah.
I don't know his name.
Norman
Osborn.
Yeah, I'm drawing a blank. But
Better
I feel
movie.
I feel like if they elaborated more on King Orm's young life, along with Aquaman's, I think it'd be kind of cool. Personally.
Throw that in there.
I gotta preface that because you guys sound like you're gonna disagree.
I don't know. I don't really think there's much fixing.
Well, the problem with that is that when he like totally left the father there, I was like, do you want us to like Aquaman or not? Because he just left the father there. I was like, do I like Aquaman after this? He like make him relatable. Make him the guy who's like, yes, I'm gonna save it. Make him a true hero, or make him have like some past that you can understand why he's doing it. But just saying, you killed these men, I'm Russian, blah blah, because they're Russian sailors. He's like, I associate with these Russian sailors. You killed some, bam, your father dies. It's like, oh, you're a hero.
I didn't like that either.
Yeah,
he just left him to die. Like,
I feel like that's too. Like,
it reminds me of like in Captain America: Winter Soldier when he's fighting Bucky, and even though it's like his best friend, I guess it's kind of different, but. Like he's brainwashed and he gets crushed by something. He still lifts it off him, and like.
I feel like that's different though because.
But it's the same kind of thing. Like even if you're trying to.
You're helping your villain because you are a good guy. Like you're not. Even though you beat him,
you won't let somebody die.
Yeah.
Because you're a good person.
But the villain, he's done wrong for how long? He's literally passing on the generation's like knife. So he's like, I feel like that was. A sign that he was supposed to be like almost done with his career or whatever.
I totally set it up too. Like you could tell, like, oh, he's giving his life to his son. Yeah, he's dead in that scene. That's too.
I feel like that
obvious.
makes it more understanding because there's nothing that this villain he doesn't deserve saving. Basically, is what I'm trying to say. Because he's killed innocent people.
That's the point, though. He doesn't deserve it, and that's why a real hero would still save him.
But.
That's what we're saying.
Aquaman's more like stoic, like more stoic of a person. He is like less emotional.
Yeah, and that's not relatable. That's what we're saying. That's not a good character trait for a hero.
Let's go through characters who were relatable in this. You got any? Because after that first scene, I didn't like Aquaman. I guess his dad. You can
I like his dad.
His dad was okay.
The bikers at the bar.
Okay.
Oh, that was I hated that.
You didn't like the. All right. There's only one part of the scene.
It's relatable.
There's only one
all
part.
The jokes and stuff that they made were like trying to be relatable. I think they were terrible.
It's too cringy.
The only time I genuinely laughed is when he was like, "Oh, I could have just peed on it" or whatever.
Yeah, that was
funny. But like all the other ones. I didn't like that.
They had a lot of one-liners.
Yeah, and they weren't good.
The only part of the scene with the bikers at the bar I didn't like was when he pulled out his phone. He had a pink case on it, and that's
kind of funny. But there's some other scenes that like so they just stupid. You knew if you know what's gonna happen, it's not as funny. Like when the guy got pushed into the bathroom, you're like, you know what? He's going to the toilet, and then sure enough, he stuck his head in the toilet. I was like, that would be funny. If it was not a setup, like he got pushed in, you saw him get pushed in the bathroom, it's like, oh, I bet you he needs to breathe in the toilet. Like, maybe, like, do something better.
That's what I was thinking, too. Like, as soon as you see him come off with the helmet, like, you know he's gonna put his head in the toilet. Because why wouldn't he? Funny, huh? I mean, I think we've been too negative, though. Because I think there was some stuff that was, like, really good.
I'm all positive here. I'm trying to, like, defend Aquaman.
I think that the filming of it was very good. Like, at the end, kind of, when they're fighting, like, I don't know what the things are called. Like, the monsters from A Quiet Place, the things that look like those.
Oh, the trench.
When they're, like, going down through there.
Oh,
I thought that was really cool.
The guy that filmed this movie, he also filmed Saw. And all of his prior movies were all, like, inspired by H.P. Lovecraft, the writer. And he directly took that from... Well, sort of directly took that from H.P. Lovecraft book. I thought that was cool.
My main man, H.P. Lovecraft. And his cat. Yeah, that's an inside joke. You can look it up.
There was actually a little Easter egg at the beginning. I don't know if you guys saw it, but
Probably not.
when they're panning into the house from when he's taking the Atlanta in, you can see on the table under the snow globe and another book, there's an H.P. Lovecraft book. I thought that was pretty cool.
That's sneaky.
Yeah. I just wanted to...
I thought another cool scene was like when the big wave was coming over the road that they were driving on. I wish that would have been longer because that was really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Like driving away from the wave, but that.
You know what? Would have been, even if it's not comically accurate, that was unseen, and if his dad just died and she never saved him, that would have put so much more relatability into Arthur. They should have done it because it was like nobody saw that wave. There's a wave coming. I was like, huh? It wasn't like set up at all.
Right.
It caught the people off guard, and then if his dad had died just there, you'd be like, I feel you. But you want to save it, but you want to save him.
I still think that scene where they save him is good. I think I'd rather have them save.
I mean,
his
he didn't
dad.
do anything though in the rest.
Yeah.
If he would have been dead, he at least would have given some more motivation. It would have given him an actual reason to want to be the king. He doesn't have anything left on land, so why not? Because
Good point.
Yeah.
he lost his mom, and
Or so we thought.
Well,
Yeah.
and then you tell us, and then he goes and tells his mom that no, he died. That would have been a heartbreaking moment too.
Right.
It would have
Yeah.
made it more.
I think the whole mom coming back, that's just...
Oh
I
my
didn't like
gosh,
that.
it
she's
didn't
back.
make any sense.
Cliche.
Like usually, a good twist is when you're not expecting it, but it makes sense. This one doesn't make sense. She's like been in the center of the earth in Jurassic Park for 20 years. I don't get it. Like, that's so
That
dumb.
doesn't make sense to me either.
And then
Like
her
the center,
suit, her
I
new
don't
suit.
Get it at all.
the center of the earth is filled with water and dinosaurs.
I mean,
that
it
did-
makes sense. Of course. Why
That
wouldn't
didn't
it?
make sense to me.
It's probably in some comic book that
Yeah,
Aquaman diehard fans know, but there's probably like 3 Aquaman diehard fans. So
Right. I think
His mom came back. Oh wow, didn't see that coming.
that's another thing that I wish they would have done differently is the whole mom coming back thing. Like the trench monsters or whatever, that was cool leading up to it, but I feel like they could have gone in a slightly different direction after that. That would have made it a little bit
Like
better.
maybe he doesn't find his mother alive. Maybe he finds her dead with a note. Hey, this is where you go, or something.
All right, but how would she know he would have found?
I don't know. Or maybe say, sorry, Arthur, I wish I could be with you. If you ever find this, I love you.
Or
Something
what
like
they
that.
could have done is they could have said she went back and they tried to kill her. So
And
she
she
ran
escaped.
away into this one place that's
Right.
impossible to come back from. And then he has to go there to get the shrine, and it turns out she's been there the whole time. That would make sense, because you'd be like, oh, maybe what if she actually made it through there? What would happen?
Mm-hmm.
My question is, how
She's
did the one guy know it was there other than the scrolls, but he just believed the story and was like, let's do it. But like, I want something better. Like,
Well, I think that makes sense though, because like no one else could decipher the code, so they have to. That's like what leads up to the rest of the story, which is why I think it makes sense. I didn't like the scene where Black Manta like comes in, and he's trying to find out which one of them's a king. That's actually another Easter egg I found, because the king that he had to put the bottle in the hand in, it was King I just lost it.
Nero?
No, Romulus, which he has a brother.
Remus?
Yeah, Remus, and they fight for taking over control of Rome, which is pretty cool. But I didn't like that scene because I feel like it was once again over the top.
I thought the part where they were like chasing them through the town and everything and running on the building, I thought that was cool.
Yeah.
I mean, other than that Black Manta shouldn't have been in the movie. I think they could.
Yeah, you could have easily just said, "Hey, this is my elite squad of guards.
Yeah,
go out and get him." You don't need
there.
Black Manta there.
You could have had some like ruler of the general of the running around dudes, whatever they're called. I don't know.
And then if you want to give Black Manta's armor, you could you could get rid of the whole beginning, and just in the end credit scene, you show Black Manta finding armor, and he does stuff with it. That's all you have to do. And that montage where he was like fixing up the armor of his own. No, that's completely Iron Man right there. He's Boom, boom, boom. Welding mask. Fixing up armor that's already good.
How does he know how to do that though? That's what I want. That's what I was wondering when I was watching that scene.
How does he know Atlantis tech and everything?
Yeah, that right there. That's what I was thinking.
But I think they could have easily done it in the beginning. They could have kept it the same where his dad dies in the submarine, but no one says who the guy is. They don't go, oh, see that manta on the thing? Yeah.
That was totally a giveaway.
They shouldn't do that. And then at the end of the movie, you're like, oh yeah, you remember that guy in the beginning? Yeah, he's actually Black Manta. Like that would have been cool. Good. They didn't do that because they're DC.
Since we're talking about the end, I think we should talk about something they really missed right at the end of the movie when Aquaman pops up.
Would it not have made sense? You know, like the scene where he jumps up and he's like frozen right at the end.
Yeah.
Right at the end of the movie, he's just like I don't know.
He pops out of the water.
He's just like jumps out of the water and it's like a freeze frame.
Okay.
Yeah.
Imagine Ocean Man playing. It would have been so good.
Like, they have they have a bunch of comedic one-liners. I feel like that would have just, sealed off the deal.
Yeah, it just would have been so good, and it would have been hilarious.
We don't need that many comedic one-liners, though.
But that's not the point. That's not the point.
Okay, yeah.
Ocean Man would have worked. It's Aquaman. Why would Ocean Man not play? I mean, it would have made so much sense. And if you're going to freeze him at the end of the movie, you got to do something.
Yeah. Right. They just had that lame, heroic music playing in the background.
One thing I hated was that Pitbull cover of Africa.
Oh, that was terrible.
Disgusting.
That was the worst thing ever.
As soon as that started playing, I was like, oh, God, I'm in the movie theater watching a movie. I need more popcorn. I'm leaving. I was completely taken out of it. All I could think about was, why does this song exist? Why would they make this?
It was so bad. The original song is not even that good, but what they
messed up at a lot of things.
Another thing that didn't make sense to me was when she jumped out of the plane.
Redhead's hung. I hated that one-liner. You didn't need to add that there. Just jump off with them and just have you don't have to have that line. That was a bad one-liner, and you can just have the pilot going, why does people just jump out? Or have somebody else say something. Don't have him say, redheads, they're crazy, right? I don't know.
I just think the whole jumping out of the plane thing and the ocean under the Sahara Desert, that whole, idea is stupid.
Yeah. I think overall, I'd probably give the movie a solid 5 or 6 out of 10.
Okay, let's put in a contest that instead of having the DC cover, you had the Marvel logo. That's a solid 2 out of 10.
Complete flop.
That'd be 2 out of 10. But since it has DC, and you compare it to
previous movies,
yeah, it's up there.
I like this movie better than Black Panther. I don't really think. I think Black Panther's pretty average.
I don't like it at all.
I don't. It's a good movie. It's well made. I mean, I don't like
it. It didn't explore any new areas of the film. It just kind of followed the same Marvel format.
Yeah, I don't. And you can say this one copied it, but I still liked it better.
I think they did the story better.
Yeah, whatever. But I'd say 5 out of 10 because
if we're rating it, I'd have to say 7 or 8 out of 10 because it had a good story. It had amazing imagery and visuals. They could have done better with the scripting and the lines, but other than that,
I'd say
it's a good movie.
It's as bad as the water between the ocean is salty. Wait, I said that wrong. It's as bad as the ocean it's as bad as the sea is salty.
I think it's as bad as Utah.
I think it should be it's as average because that's what it is. It's average.
Yeah, seas are kind of salty, but not really salty. But they're in the middle.
You can stop now.
I'm not trying to
make analogies.
Joke. I'm just saying the movie was painfully average and it could have been a lot better, but it wasn't.
Anyways, this was just a little hammering where we hammer out the kinks in movies. I am Jackson.
I'm Logan.
I'm Henry.
And we'll be signing off.